So, have you ever felt stuck in a situation where you just felt like this was a toxic situation or a fake conversation, or you was dealing with some lies or something, but you felt yourself staying in that situation and you didn't know how to move forward? You stayed too long. In today's show, I'm going to talk about why it seems that those patterns, those program patterns, keep you stuck in toxic situations and how you can begin to move forward. Staying too long in situations, staying too long in relationships, staying too long in things that no longer serve you, dealing with lies, dealing with fake conversation, toxic energy. You're just staying too long. The reason why people stay too long in these type of situations is because they have patterns that are difficult to break, where they have trained themselves. They've been used to settling for certain relationships, or they have patterns where they've been used to doing things in a way that don't serve them. They've been used to depleting themselves. They've been used to being in certain relationships that are toxic. These patterns that you have create this like a hold on you. It's very difficult to break because maybe you're used to the pattern of pleasing other people above yourself. Are you used to the pattern of trying to get other people approval, or putting them before your own health, or putting them before your own mental care, your own self-care, self-love? You're used to this pattern of diminishing yourself, depleting yourself to serve other people, and then you left without. This is what leads you to staying in these situations that no longer serve you. And you know they no longer serve you. You feel that they no longer serve you. You're in these situations and it's just a constant pattern, and you're just dealing with it. You're dealing with the fake conversations. You're dealing with, you know, this person, this is not a real friendship. You know, this relationship is not a healthy relationship. However, you stay in this situation because you believe that you're supposed to be there. Or sometimes you feel guilty. So you allow guilt to lead you to make those decisions. And you make excuses for that, right? We've been together this amount of years, or I've known this person X amount of years, or we have children together, or we did this or did that, and so that's why. And so you stay in that, and then you feel as if you are obligated, like you're supposed to be in that situation, and it just keeps you there, and you're in this pattern, this cycle, and it's unending. It doesn't stop, and you're constantly feeling like, I'm not good enough. Why am I still here? This no longer serves me. Why do I put up with this? You don't know, but you stay. So it's time for you to eliminate the toxic energy. It's time for you to stand up for yourself. When are you going to stand up for yourself? You know, some people say, well, it'll get better in time. With time, it'll get better. And that's really not true, because actually the longer you stay in that situation, the longer you're building that pattern of losing yourself, of settling for situations that no longer serve you. The longer you create that bondage of you being stuck, and so you don't feel the movement. You don't feel the growth energy. You don't feel that you're really being who you really are. You can't be true to who you are. And it makes you upset, sometimes frustrated, sometimes angry or bitter, because you feel stuck, because you feel like you have no options. When you do, you have plenty of options. You can leave. You can move on. You can eliminate that toxic situation. You don't have to stay in that situation. And some of you have been telling yourself over and over again that you have no choice. You tell yourself over and over again, I have to be in this. We have kids together. We did this together. And so you feel like you have to be in that situation. So it's time for you to make the decision that best serves you. It's time for you to put your mind, body, and spirit first, to prioritize your self-care first, to understand that self-care is not selfish, that self-love is not selfish, that you honoring your mind, body, and spirit is something, it's a gift to the world. It's a gift to your children. It's a gift to your loved ones. When you honor your mind, body, and spirit, when you honor your energy, when you honor protecting your peace and guarding your heart, you put yourself in a place and you understand your value. You understand that you don't have to settle anymore. You understand that you don't have to stay too long in a relationship that no longer serves you. You no longer have to be frustrated in a situation where you feel stuck. You no longer have to feel angry about a situation that you feel helpless. And so what happens is you replay over and over again in your mind that thing you don't want, that relationship that is not helpful to you. You replay it in your mind. So what are you doing? You're feeding it more energy. You're constantly confirming it to yourself over and over again. I don't want this. I don't want this. But guess what? The more you replay that, it's like meditating on something you don't want. You're giving it your focused energy. You're giving it your focused attention. And so what happens? It gets even bigger in your life. And that pattern gets even stronger. And then you don't understand why you make certain decisions. And the decisions you make, they're not serving you. And the reason they're not serving you is because you're not serving you. It's because you have been programmed to constantly attract situations and things that don't serve you. So it requires you to do some inner work. It requires you to heal. It requires you to eliminate something. See, this is some of the stuff that I teach in my virtual coaching program, Whole Again. I talk about how you have to go through the process of eliminating those old patterns of thinking, those old patterns that keep feeding you things you no longer desire. And so as an adult, the way that you learn and you grow is by eliminating things that no longer serve you. So this is where the decluttering comes in. This is where the detoxing comes in. This is where you eliminate some of them relationships. This is where you take a break from things that are draining you. And see, you may not know how to do this because you've been so used to doing things the way that you've always done them, not understanding that it's a pattern, a program pattern that is not serving you. It's a program pattern that is holding you back, that is hindering you from being your best self. Think about the people in your life, the relationships in your life, the opportunities in your life, the things that are currently operating in your life, your opportunities, your career, your relationships, your friendships, your loved ones, your home, like your finances. Think about how those things are operating. And if there are any areas in your life that you feel that are not serving you, you can transform that. You can change all of that. You can really begin to thrive in your life by learning how to eliminate some things that are draining you, that are depleting you, that are keeping you in this cycle of feeling less than, feeling stuck, feeling like you have no growth, feeling like you're in the same space that you've been in for years and there's no improvement, feeling like you've moved backwards in a way or in a sense, feeling like why is it that even though things are going on in this world, there are people who are thriving, there are people who are doing great, but it feels like you've been stuck. It feels like you just haven't been able to get through and get over that situation. It's really important for you to begin to detox, to declutter some things in your life. And that's some of the things that I teach you. You can get that when you go to realloveexists.com and you click on webinars. But I really wanted to share that with you guys because I know a lot of you have been dealing with situations where you know this person is not for you. You know this toxic relationship is draining, but you go back to the same thing. And you're like, I don't know how to get a hold of this. I don't know how to get out of this. I don't know how to walk away from this. So it's time for you to heal. I want to read an excerpt from my book. It says the teachings in this book will unveil the true nature of your super powerful spirit. It is a state of calm. This is your true spirit. Your true natural spirit is a state of calm, strength, and universal authority that is capable of overcoming all things. You will begin to understand that the victimization mindset programmed by society and social norms is not who you are. The mindset of lack, the mindset of struggle, poverty, and scarcity are all illusions we are taught to believe in. We attach ourselves to them and took them on as our identity. They are not who you are. We are abundant. We are prosperous and courageous. That is who we are created to be. We are created in the image of God. So you read more in my book, Sis, Be Nicer to Yourself, and you can pre-order your copy at sisbenicertoyourself.com. I'm going to invite my husband, Patrick, to join us.
So the first question is, I have the hardest time walking away from things I don't know serve me. I stay too long knowing that God is trying to remove me from those things. So why do I stay long and damage myself?
You have created this pattern in your mind and in your life, a belief pattern that you need to begin to eliminate. It could be that you're believing that this is all you have. You've been in this relationship for this amount of years. It'll be hard to start over. You don't want to start over. You don't feel like anyone else will love you. So many things people tell themselves and what keeps them in toxic relationships. I would definitely say starting to do the decluttering, the detoxing. And what I teach through my training, I also talk about this in the Whole Again program, is just how to start eliminating the declutter in your life. It could be as practical as you cleaning out a closet just to get more clarity in your mind, to you eliminating some of the habits you have when it comes to text messages, receiving phone calls from certain toxic people, creating some space for you to eliminate that toxic energy because it's draining energy. You can be addicted to that toxic energy. Just learning how to get free of that is the first step. And that's the reason why you stay so long and you feel like you're damaging yourself and you're not leaving when that's the best thing for you.
Another reason why people stay in relationships so long that they know they should get out of is because there's a sense of fear of the future. You know, sometimes people are in relationships and those relationships can seem convenient. The uncertainty of how things may transpire once they leave is something that says maybe I should reconsider leaving. Reconsider, trying to move on and working on myself because I may put myself in a position where I'm not in a relationship anymore. And I really desire to be in a relationship. That fear can be a stumbling block. When you don't identify the way things truly are, sometimes you can think more highly of a relationship than it ought to be. And sometimes you can put the perspective on it that even in the midst of negativity, you keep reminding yourselves of all the positive moments to the point to where you can't really see what truly is what it is. Like, the relationship will reveal itself to you. It'll show you what's really going on. But sometimes we'll trick ourselves, We make all these excuses and justifications because we compare our situation to others. The truth of the matter is that it's revealing itself to you up front.
You look for the really, really bad negative drama stuff, and then you compare it to yours and be like, well, we good.
Yeah.
When it's like, well, at least they're not beating me. It's like, okay, but be real about what's really going on.
Right. So the next question, what about when your toxic mother is now disabled and you have to care for her and move her in your home? How do you set boundaries?
Making sure that you have space for yourself, healthy space for yourself. Create those boundaries to say, this is for me, this is my time, this is what I do, this is what's best, this is what we do with my mother. Some people, they move their parents in and they also have some type of caregiver to come in to help care for their loved one. If caregiving is not your thing, don't try to put that on and take that on yourself. You may not be called to be your mom's caregiver, but you're giving her a place to stay because you honor and love her and you feel that this is what you're doing for her. You take care of yourself, you, your children, the people that live in that home, making sure you have your own healthy space, your own healthy time to you, and that no one is coming in taking over all of that.
Because at the end of the day, it's your house, and you want your house to be filled with peace. And though the circumstances may call for you to take care of your parent in that moment, you don't want to allow that energy that they bring with them into your house to consume you or to consume the energy flow in your home. So making sure you set those healthy boundaries, like Rainie said, if you got to get somebody that can help be that intermediate person to help take care, do that. Communicate those things up front. Just make sure you're protecting your peace in the midst of the process. I'll go to this next question. What do you do when you feel like you and your closest friends are growing apart?
Embrace the season you're in, because sometimes that happens. And it doesn't mean that you can never be friends, but sometimes you're just evolving and that person is evolving in their own way or their own time. So don't try to force the relationship. Don't try to drag them on with you. If you feel like you're evolving and you're kind of growing apart, it's okay. Seasons change. Allow yourself to grow. Not everybody is willing to grow on the level you're growing and connect with you in that way. Honor that and appreciate that relationship for what it is. But don't try to force or make anything happen that's not unfolding.
We flow through different seasons in our lives. So everybody we met during those specific seasons, they know us based on those seasons that they met us in. But sometimes we transition out of that. I can say it was some decisions, some way that I used to operate. I don't operate like that no more. The connection that you have with your friends are based on them fitting into the future identity that you see yourself operating in. The vision that you have for your life, the people that you surround yourself with should fit into that vision. Because at the end of the day, you want the people around you to be edifying to you, to bring you some type of comfort. You don't want people to bring you down and to bring you drama. So at the end of the day, you kind of allow. You really just have to allow. If people flow away from you, it's all right. It's nothing personal. Everybody go through changes and have a different season in their life, and you just gotta allow it to flow in that way. How can you get over someone that was so toxic and wasted your time? I'm another person that will stay a long time to someone just damage me until I have no other choice to leave. Every opportunity creates a learning moment, and not that your time was wasted because you were with this individual, but you just had a moment to learn. A moment to learn from that relationship, a moment to learn from that opportunity. And it's nothing against you. It's nothing against your relationship or the season that you were in at that time. It was just a learning opportunity. Nothing to look back on and to feel wasted about, because every day is a new moment. Every moment you can create a new future. So we got another question. How do you get past the feeling guilty when trying to leave a person marriage that no longer serves you?
First of all, I think it's important that you understand that what you're doing is to serve you in a healthy way. And a lot of times when you make decisions for yourself, people often say you're being selfish or, oh, how dare you do that? Life is sacred. Life is so sacred. And you got to understand that as you continue to stay in situations that are hurting you and harmful to you, it's only depleting you of the sacredness of your life. When you know this, you don't allow guilt to get in the way. You don't allow feeling bad about a decision that is healthy for you to get in the way. Guilt is only a reflection of you trying to please somebody else. Guilt is only a reflection of you trying to make somebody else happy. Well, so you feel bad because, oh, I'm choosing my happiness and this is not what they want. But you have to understand that you choosing your healthy, happy self, it's a gift to the world, so there's no need to feel guilty of that. You feeling guilty is a sign that there's a lot of self-work that needs to be done, some inner healing, some detoxing, some mindset reprogramming, because that's what causes guilt. That's what causes you, and it gets you stuck in places. You're going to have to do some work to really get you to a place, because your evolvement is going to require you releasing a lot of those toxic emotions that have held you back. So I really want to encourage you to join the Whole Again webinar on realloveexists.com. That will really help you heal.
Many people don't understand the importance of really taking care of themselves and making themselves top priority. Folks are just used to people being so accommodating, accommodating to other people, accommodating to
everybody else.
Everybody else, or your team, or the family, or what they gonna think, or what this person gonna think. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's like, I got to be the best version of myself so that I can contribute at the level that I desire to contribute at. I can't be a maximum giver. I can't be effective as much as I desire to be if I'm trying to base my decisions off of how other people feel. And that is something that doesn't have to always be in a negative environment. We can be in environments where things can be peaceful. But the reality of it is, we got to make a decision to make another step. We have to choose us and make the decision. And make the decision with confidence, knowing that we're being led by the Holy Spirit to do what's best for us and what's best to contribute to the world around us.
Well, good. This was a great show. Thank you guys so much. Again, I want to hear from you. Let me know what you need to do to move forward from staying too long. I want to hear that in the comments. Let me know. What are you going to do moving forward? Love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now I want to hear from you. How will you begin to move forward out of those toxic situations and no longer stay too long in a toxic situation? Let us know. Also, be sure to subscribe to our channel and share our messages with others. And we want to thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next show.